Okay, for the CRV EX, we have to start outside the car for the remote start entry and the smart entry system. So the way that you use the remote start and the key fob is you have to make sure the car is locked. So what I like to do is hit the lock button a couple times, and then you hold the remote start button, which is the bottom left one here. So what I like to do is double tap and then hold. You see the lights flash for the car. The engine turns on, and then the lights flash 5 or 6 more times, just indicating that the engine turned on. And then at this point, the car's in a standby mode. So when you get into the car, you're gonna have to put your foot on the brake and then tap the push start button like you normally would. So the way that you use the smart entry system on the CRV is as long as you have the key fob near yourself. And so what I like to do is put the key in my pocket and pretend that you're walking from the grocery store up to your car. And all you have to do is put your hand on the inside of the driver's door handle, and the car automatically unlocks itself. Another addition to the CRV EX is that now that you have powered seats. So the way that you use the powered seats is, this moves the seat forward, this moves the seat back. You can then move the seat back or forward. And then this is your lumbar support that's built into the actual seat. Okay, so with the CRV EX, you're gonna be dealing with the new touchscreen. The way that the new touchscreen works is that you have dedicated buttons on the side. So you have the home button, which will bring you back to this screen if you're ever inside of the radio. So let's say you want to go back to the home screen, you just press home. You have the audio button, which will bring you to the radio automatically. And then phone will bring you to the screen to either pair a phone, or it'll show you your speed dial list and your contacts if you wanted to view them there. So now I'm going to show you how to make a channel preset with the radio. So now let's say we're on 88.3. So if I wanted to go to 92.3, which is a station that people like to listen to, and if I wanted to make that a channel preset, you would have to press down and hold in on one of these channel presets. So if I wanted to make 92.3 my number 1 preset, then I just have to press and hold on one. You hear the beep, you see the 1 pop up, and now 92.3 is now your number 1 preset. So now if you wanted to change your radio sources, you would then hit source, and then from here you have FM, AM, and then on the CRV EX, you also have a 3-month free trial of Sirius Radio. On the CRV EX, the AC settings are going to be a little bit different. So at this point, you can now hit the climate button, which brings you to the climate screen. And instead of using the fan speed buttons to use the fan speed, you can now just touch screen it. And the one thing about the climate button is that the only way that you can access your car's AC mode settings is by using the climate button. So there's no mode button down here that you can tap to change the modes. You have to use the climate button, and then you have to be able to touch screen the modes here. And then you also have your heated seats below the knobs here with 3 power settings on both sides. Okay, so to add a phone to the CRV EX and above, what you have to do is hit the phone button here. And then it's going to ask you if you want to pair a new phone. And then at this point, you're going to have to go to your phone and then go to the settings. Find the Bluetooth option. Make sure the Bluetooth's on and discoverable, which it is. And then wait for something called hands-free link to pop up. You tap on hands-free link. It asks if you want to sync your contacts. It asks if you want to use Apple CarPlay while your phone is locked, so I would hit use Apple CarPlay. And then your phone's connected. And on the screen, it's going to prompt you with priority device settings. So what this means is that it's going to give your phone the main device setting. So even if someone gets into your car and pairs their phone, if your phone is paired to the system, it will override them. So you'll still receive phone calls, and you'll still be able to use the radio, like the Bluetooth radio, if you wanted to. So at this point, I'm just going to give my phone priority device settings. So it's just giving my phone audio controls and incoming phone call controls. And then the HondaLink Assist setting. This setting is so in the event that you get into an accident and your phone goes flying, so you can't get to it to call 911, essentially what the HondaLink Assist setting does is it uses the Bluetooth connection on your phone to connect you to either a call center or the closest police station. And then at that point, you're going to be talking to first responders over the speakers of your car. So at that point, you don't need your phone to seek medical attention. And this is a completely free service that Honda offers. There's no small text at the bottom that says it's a subscription service or anything like that. So most customers just enable this. And now that your phone's connected, if you were to click phone book, it would show all your contacts. And then if you hit home and then go to audio and then change the source to Bluetooth, at that point you could then play anything over your phone over the phone is paired. You'll now be able to make hands-free calls using the voice talk button here. So if you press the voice talk button, it's going to put you into Honda's voice command prompt system. And these are all the commands that you can say to the car. And usually there's going to be a voice prompting you with instructions, but for me, I just have the commands pulled up here just so we can go over them. So you can then say phone call to the system by interrupting it by hitting the voice talk button again while it's talking. So I'm going to do that now. So if I hit the voice talk button, I can hit it again. Phone call. And then from here, you can state a contact name that you would like to call from your contacts. And then if you also wanted to use Siri or the Google Assistant on your phone, instead of tapping the voice talk button, you can then press and hold it down. And then it just activates Siri on your phone. So if you want to skip over the Honda command prompt system, you can also do that. Okay, so to set up Apple CarPlay, what you have to do is plug your iPhone charger into your iPhone while it's unlocked. And then at this point, it's going to prompt you with this screen here. And this is just your iOS terms of service. This is that long list of agreements that you have to agree to when you initially buy your iPhone. So if you just hit always enable, it'll never prompt you with this screen again. This is the same HondaLink Assist setting that we went over earlier. And then smartphone connection will turn into Apple CarPlay, and then it boots you right into Apple CarPlay. So right here, it has your navigation app. It has some of the locations that you can visit. And then this is the Now Playing tab. So if you have a podcast or music or an audiobook playing, then it'll show you the album cover, the title of the song, and the artist here. And then at this point, this is the main screen for Apple CarPlay. So you can either hit the home button here, or at this point, you can just swipe in between screens. And here you have all your apps on your phone. So if I were to click phone and then contacts, it'll have all your contacts just how they are on your phone. So you'll be able to click on a contact and then it'll bring up their phone number and then you'll be able to hit call. And now if you wanted to use the Maps app or whatever navigation app that you like to use, you can hit Maps, hit search, hit the keyboard, and at this point you could type a location in, so your home address, anything like that. And then if you just hit go, it'll give you the directions like you normally would. And then any other app on here basically works the same. So if you download Waze or Google Maps, whatever you prefer, it'll be the next one that pops up on your screen here, and then you can use it almost the same way. The interfaces for navigation apps on Apple CarPlay are very similar. Okay, so up here you have your one-touch moonroof. So I'm just going to slide this open just so we can get a look at it. And then the way that you work it is you have these little sliders here. So if I push towards open, it opens the sunroof, and then if I come back, you can then close it. And then to tilt, you just push up and in on this button here. And then if you close it. And then another thing, on the side of the side mirrors right here, you should see those little gray logos. Those gray logos are your blind spot monitoring. So if anyone's ever in your blind spot, you'll be able to tell because those little logos will light up a fluorescent orange. And you'll also get a notification in the dash here if you try to turn into that lane while someone's in your blind spot.